Can you guys all hear me? Okay, cool. Hey guys, so earlier today I streamed about like my stationery collection and stuff like that. And so I thought that right now I would just hang out with you guys and answer a few questions. So if you guys have anything you want to ask, feel free. And yeah. Oh my god, so many of you guys are back again. Hey Jessica, I remember you from earlier. Same with Alex and Demi. Hey guys. Okay, so anyways, oh hey, Sean Cool. Hey, I remember you. You comment on every single video. Thanks so much for tuning in again today. All right, so how's your afternoon? Says Braxton. Well, it's pretty good. I've gotten some of my work done. I've been working through The Secret History, and so I've been just reading and annotating. Let's see. Tell me all of the tips you can tell us about journaling from Amal. Basically, I would just recommend trying to make a routine out of it. I sort of bullet journal inside of my planner, and so I just do that every morning. I make it part of my morning routine, and it's something that I really think it's really, really helpful to do. I've also started journaling in this notebook from Bloom Daily Planners. I think it's really, really important to kind of have a place to write down all of your thoughts and things like that. So this notebook is where I do that. And so every morning I'll first plan out my day in my Hobonichi and check my bullet journal, and then I will also journal in this. Lid Alley asks, how was AP Bio? I'm taking it this upcoming school year. I personally thought AP Bio was so much fun. I absolutely love the subject. And so if you're really, really interested in biology, you'll have a lot of fun and it's really interesting. Let's see. Where do you buy your bullet journal? So actually, if you guys have seen my how to start a bullet journal video, then you know that I have this new bullet journal I use from Muji, and I got this notebook while I was at Muji, which they have an online store that you can look up, and also stores around the world, I believe. Charlie asks, is The Secret History any good? I really think it's an awesome book. Like, actually, at first, I had a really hard time getting into it, especially because I already read The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and so I found that that was interesting right away. And The Secret History takes a really long time to build up. I think maybe like the first 3 chapters were kind of boring, but after that it got super interesting. Maudline asks, are you at university or college? Actually, neither. I am in high school. Grack asks, how many hours of sleep do you get? I usually sleep between 7 to 9 hours every night, which I'm really proud about. I actually talked about it in my How to Be a Morning Person video, so if you guys want to check that out later, definitely do. Let's see. Isabella Petrus asks, any tips on how to deal with having no study halls? Okay, so I've actually had to take a block of study hall or resource every year. It's like a requirement at my school. And so for those of you who don't know, study hall is a block where you spend your time in class as just like spending, like doing your homework and working on assignments and asking questions. And so for those of you who don't have that, I would recommend spending your time the best you can while you're at school. Like maybe you want to spend your extra like 5 minutes after, like towards the end of class, working on things if your teacher are okay with it, or just really trying to start work as soon as you get home. Emily asks, are you in the IB program or does your school offer it? No, my school does not offer the IB. I think that it sounds really, really intense and I don't really know much about it, but I have not done that. Philippa asks, what do you want to do as a job? I've talked about this before, but right now, since I'm super interested in the like fields of psychology and biology, I really want to be a psychiatrist. Let's see. Heidi M asks, what subject do you like the most? It's psychology and biology. Annie asks, do you like bullet journaling or planners better? So I personally like planners a little bit better just for my purposes right now. So most of you already know I use my Hobonichi as my main planner, and I love that everything is already laid out really perfectly for me because this next school year is going to be super busy for me, and so I find I can save a lot of time by not making up all of my spreads. Tam asks, any tips of getting over the fear of doing presentations? Yes, I have tons of advice about this. I talked about it in my public speaking video, if you guys want to check that out, because I used to be super, super nervous about making speeches and oral presentations during class. Like, it terrified me, but now I've gotten really good at it because I've kind of found a system that makes me less nervous. Let's see. Mel K asks, tips on making the most out of your study blur. So for most of you who don't know what a study blur is, it is a Tumblr blog that focuses on studying. I have one and I'm really happy with it. To get the most out of it, I'd recommend trying to make sure it doesn't become like a distraction to your studying and becomes something that really like magnifies like your motivation and inspiration, and that you don't let it get in the way. Let's see. Do you use your bullet journal and planner over the summer? From Natalie. Yes, I absolutely do. You guys have probably seen most of my pages in my planner. I fill out a little like to-do list, daily entry every single morning. It's part of my morning routine. And I also use my bullet journal to track my goals and things like that during the summer. Alicia asks, I know you lean more towards science, but do you like the humanities? Yes, I absolutely do. I think history is super, super interesting. I especially think European history is really interesting, but my school doesn't offer AP Euro. Let's see. Kayla asks, do you study right when you get home? I don't necessarily study the minute I get home because sometimes I'll get home after a rehearsal or a practice. And so typically I will, like shower and change and eat something. But after that, the first thing I do is homework and studying. Let's see. Stephanie asks, tips for the first AP experience. So I'm not going to lie, AP classes are kind of scary. For those of you who don't know, AP stands for Advanced Placement, and I would definitely recommend understand exactly what your teacher is requiring or expecting of you as soon as you can. Let's see. Study with Sabrina asks, have you always been a straight A student? Yes. Kay Ingle asks, do you study every day? I do, but it really, it depends on, I do different things every day, so I don't necessarily study the same way each day. Alex asks, do you play any sports? No, I do not. Zahir asks, what is your favorite food? My favorite food is definitely pasta. Neil Lucas asks, is AP Calculus hard? Yes, definitely. That was probably the hardest class that I've ever taken at my school. Lydia asks, how many hours a day do you practice your instrument? I usually practice at least an hour, maybe 2 hours if I'm really getting into it. Eva asks, what instrument do you play? Oh, hey, you play percussion. Yeah, I play the euphonium, and I try really, really hard to practice and keep up with that. A bunch of you guys are asking for freshman advice. So I would definitely recommend that coming in as a freshman, you really figure out a system to manage your time. I found that I had a lot more independence as a freshman than in middle school. So finding a time management system is the number one tip for someone starting their freshman year. Linda asks, how many hours straight do you think it's best to study? I don't really know about like the best amount of time in a row because I don't know, I don't really study for a specific amount of time, but I would personally recommend not more than like an hour at a time and then take a break. Jenny for Evs asks tips on remaining focused. I would definitely drink a lot of iced water. And I think that that's a really great way to kind of keep yourself awake and focused and also try to avoid distractions, like don't study in front of the TV. Sean Cool asks, how has your band camp been? It has not started yet, so I can't really answer. Camille asks, what are some good study snacks? I actually made a video about study snacks a while back where I just kind of showed you guys all of my favorite ones, and I usually try to aim for like healthier study snacks just because if you eat a chocolate bar and then start studying, you'll like, crash later because of the sugar. Let's see. Lillian Martinez asks, are you ready for the next school year? Yes, definitely. I have almost finished with my summer assignments. You guys already know I'm working on The Secret History. After that, I have another book to read, and then I'll be completely done with all of my AP assignments. Maybell Learn, hey girl! She asks, can you do an updated video on study snacks? Definitely. Let's see, favorite school year so far, probably my sophomore year. I found that at that point I really had my system down for how I wanted to study, and I really had a lot of time to, hang out with my friends and do everything I wanted to get done. So I thought that was my best year. Let's see. Peace in Nutella asks tips for concentrating on a difficult subject. Honestly, the only way to continually stay concentrated on something that's really hard for you is just to power through. You have to force yourself to continue doing it. Like calculus was really, really hard for me, but I really made sure that I told myself and forced myself to spend a lot of time preparing for it. Muska asks, what is your favorite book? Definitely the Harry Potter series, no question. I'm so excited about The Cursed Child, but I haven't gotten my copy yet. Let's see. Martina asks, how do you take notes in the classroom? Usually my teachers will actually print out PowerPoints or leave blanks or give out like handouts or something. So I'll usually just highlight and annotate those, and then I will make supplemental notes out of the textbook later. Shar asks tips on productivity. I think just find a time of the day that you are most productive. Like some people are night owls, some people are like larks in the morning, and so that definitely would help on being productive. And let's see, any tips on annotating? Yes, definitely. So I've actually been annotating all yesterday and most of today. So basically, I would recommend that you guys kind of first have some highlighters that you guys use. Try to make sort of a color code. So for my school assignment, I have to put both a summary and a dialectical to examine literary devices at the end of each chapter. And so since each of the chapters in The Secret History are super, super long, I've been finding that if I use a yellow highlighter for things that are important for plot and those sorts of things to remember for the summary, I always use that. And then I use pink for anything that will be important for me to remember for the dialectical. And so that way I'll use pink for literary devices or imagery, and I think that works the best for me. And if you guys are wondering, I use the yellow and pink page flags on the side of my book to correspond with the colors of the highlighters that I'm already using in the book itself. So I think just having a system that you personally know and that'll help for your assignments would be awesome. Okay, let's see. Alex Papas asks, dream college. I am not going to really tell you guys the exact schools that I'm applying to or that I hope to get into, just for privacy reasons. And I also really don't want to jinx myself because, college applications and college admissions is a super competitive, scary business. And I, just really want to try to keep my chances as high as I possibly can. Let's see. Chris Cross asks, have you ever failed an AP exam? No. But if you did, it's not the end of the world. AP exams don't measure all of your intelligence or everything you've taken away from the specific class. Definitely remember that AP scores are not like the be all end all, because even if you've gotten a 5 on the exam, some schools still want you to take their class. Let's see. Rebecca asks, Hamilton, yay or nay? Yay! Definitely. I really, really want to see it, but tickets are super expensive. Let's see. Sophie S asks, binders or notebooks? Definitely notebooks, and I use notebooks in my expandable file folders. You guys already know all about this if you've seen my organizing schoolwork video. I love expandable file folders. Emily Rogers asks, what's the easiest class you're taking this school year? Probably personal finance or study hall, because I don't even learn anything in study hall, but I do. I don't know. I don't think personal finance will be that hard for me. Let's see. Lily Bime asks, what motivates you? Definitely the online study communities. Just seeing a whole community of people around my age who really, really aim to do their best really motivates me all the time. Melanie XX asks, favorite kind of music? Oh my God. Oh, that's so hard. I love jazz and I really like classical music. I also love like electro remix music as well. I love all music. Duru OK asks, fave pen? Definitely the Pilot Juice pens, which happen to be right here. I absolutely love them. They were like the winners, I guess, of my Battle of the Pens video. And I highly recommend them to anyone because they never bleed and never smear, ever. So yeah, those are my favorites. Let's see. Wow, okay, these questions are going so fast. Charlie Proctor asks, book recommendations. The last 2 books that I've read, The Secret History and The Goldfinch, they're both by Donna Tartt, and if you like really, really well-written books, I would definitely recommend those. Angelina asks, how long did you study for the ACT? So the first time I took it, I spent about, I think, 2.5 to 3 months studying for it, and I found that just spreading out my time was really, really useful for the ACT. Let's see. Emily asks, what's your favorite movie? Oh, that's so hard. I always loved the movie, like Mamma Mia, the musical, as a kid. I always thought it was super, super cute, and I love the music. Stina asks, opinion on Gilmore Girls? Great show. Can't wait for November 25th. Keela asks, do you drive? Yes. Let's see. Emery asks, did you drop any subjects for your senior year? I didn't necessarily drop any subjects because I'm still taking all of my core subjects, but I am not taking an AP Science next year. Let's see. How do you study or take notes for math? So I would definitely recommend taking a lot of time to do practice problems for math. It's really, really easy to just try to like look over theorems or memorize formulas, but really the best thing to do with math is to open up your notebook and just spend time copying down like problems and then trying to solve them yourself, because I think the best way to test to see if you are going to do well on a math test is to just do a lot of practice and to do as much of the types of problems that you're going to see on your thing right away. Like, it's best to do a lot of practice for math. Let's see. What sites do you have bookmarked online? From Addie. I have Sleepy Time bookmarked. I talked about that awesome website in my morning person video. And I have Tumblr bookmarked and YouTube and Facebook. Let's see. Sucharita asks, what's your favorite color? Definitely purple. I have like my little like logo and banner and icons all in purple, and I absolutely love purple a lot. Let's see. Loki Malfoy asks tips for better sleeping. Definitely everything that I talked about in my How to Be a Morning Person video will help you have better or like more consistent sleep. Let's see. Tips on getting through summer reading books quickly. Okay, so I'm actually facing the problem right now with the secret history and everything. But basically, just break it down, do as much as you can every day. You don't have to go through the whole book at one time. Just make sure that you spend time each day, like maybe do a chapter or two every single day. Let's see. Margot asks, where's your agenda from? My Hobonichi is purchased from Amazon, but you can find it on the Hobonichi website as well. Elda the Unicorn asks, favorite washi tape? Definitely I have this one roll that I got. It was the first roll I got. It was from, I think it was from coolpencilcase.com. And it's so cute. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but it has like all sorts of little music notes and has like a music staff on it and everything. I absolutely love this one just because I love band, I love music, so that's my favorite. Tips for writing essays. Definitely make sure that you plan out everything that you want to say, because I think that just outlining something is really, really useful. Let's see. Gabby L asks what classes I signed up for. I talked about this in my school routine tag video. Let's see. Evelyn asks favorite pen color. Actually, I really, really like writing in blue. I think it's really, really calming. I don't know. I love anything that I've written in blue or in purple and pink. Like just those colors are so awesome to me. Karen asks, what's your Harry Potter house? I am Slytherin according to some quizzes and Ravenclaw according to others, so Slytherclaw. Let's see. Stina asks, is there an instrument you wish you could play? I really, really wish that I could play the drums well, because it's really hard to do. It requires a lot of technique. Let's see. Do Muji gel pens go through your moleskin journal? They bleed through a tiny, like they don't bleed through, but you can definitely see them through the other side. Like they ghost a little bit. So kind of. And let's see. Do you like horror books? Asks Poot. No, I do not. I don't like horror movies. I don't like horror. I don't like anything that's going to scare me at all. Let's see. Karen asks, do you do habit tracking? I sometimes will do that in my planner, actually. Let me show you guys. Like the Hobonichi has this really cool area in the daily entry pages where they have this little like checklist section at the very top, and I use that as my little habit tracker for every day, because I found that having a separate sheet or a separate spread for habit tracking, it doesn't really work for me. So I use this little area on the top and I habit track like that. Let's see. Maria asks, would you ever study abroad? Definitely. I think it would be such a cool and interesting experience. So definitely. Alex asks, what is the best and worst part of high school? The worst part of high school, definitely stress. I'm usually stressed out and worried about my upcoming test or exam, but the best part of high school is definitely like extracurriculars and I guess like finding friends that you'll know that you will be friends with for your whole life. Patricia asks, what language would you like to learn? I would love to learn. That's a good question. I'd like to learn how to speak French and Japanese, but probably a couple others too, but I know I don't think I'll get around to it. How do you make your bullet journal so pretty and cute? From Everything Isa. I honestly am not very creative and I don't really have awesome like calligraphy skills or anything. So mostly I do that through like Post-its and stickers and washi tape. Let's see. Annie asks, how did you think of your study name? Honestly, like I just typed in a bunch of random URLs to Tumblr when I was making my blog, and that one just happened to work, and so here I am. Jenny 4Evs asks, spiral notebooks or composition notebooks? Definitely composition, because as you guys know, I'm a lefty, and so when I use spiral notebooks like this one, it's actually really, really hard for lefties to use the right side of the paper. I think right-handed people probably have the same problem, where your hand like sits on the coil and it's kind of uncomfortable, so I prefer composition notebooks. Livia asks, tips for biology and chemistry. I would suggest making separate little like a vocab notebook for each class, because that's what I did with AP Biology and it worked well for me, where I had all of the vocabulary for each chapter in a completely separate section. Let's see. Sucharita asks, room tour? I did a desk tour and a tour of like my entire study space earlier this year, and so that portion of my room is about half of it. So if you guys are curious as to what like half of my room looks like, then definitely check out that video. Charlie asks, do you have a wee hearted? No, I do not. Sahil asks, any siblings? Yes, I have my brother. You guys know that he makes all of these awesome graphics, even the graphics you guys see around the edge of this video, and he makes all of my thumbnails, and it's awesome. Let's see. Study tips for a kinesthetic learner from Cynthia. I would recommend doing a brain dump. So I talked about this, I think, in my, which one? I think it was my study with me for AP Bio video, where I got out like a blank sheet of paper, much like this notebook, and I got out a couple of pens, and I sat down right before I started actually studying, and I just wrote down everything I could think of about the subject completely cold, and that's something that I think is really useful for a kinesthetic learner. Miriam asks, how do you plan ahead? I plan ahead mostly in my planner, and I use the monthly spreads and the overview for the whole year. Sean Cool asks, what's your favorite song? Ooh, I don't have one specific favorite song, but right now I really, really love albums by the Mowglis and Glass Animals. Let's see. Blueberry Sun, you are amazing. Continue your amazing work. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Simply Anna asks, do you watch Adventure Time? No, I do not. Oh my god, the questions are going kind of fast. Linda asks, what do you look forward to once you get back to school? I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all of my friends. Some of them are on vacation right now, and so I haven't seen them for most of the summer, but I'm excited to see them. Let's see. Patricia asks, have you seen any Studio Ghibli? I'm not sure how to say that, but yes, I have. Hilda asks, will writing down vocab help you learn? Yes, definitely. I find that helps me a lot, and it's something I definitely recommend to anyone who's taking a lot of like science-heavy courses. Let's see. Lillian asks, well, I can't see it anymore. Tips for studying for the SAT. I have not studied for the SAT because I'm not taking it, so I can't really give advice. Other pens to use in your bullet journal. Basically, I would definitely recommend the Pilot Juice ones. They don't bleed through any paper I've tried before, but I also know a lot of people on Instagram and Tumblr really like these I guess they're sort of highlighters and sort of markers. They're the infamous Zebra mild liners, and they're actually twin tips, so they have the fine marker tip on one side, and on the other, they have a normal, like a highlighter tip that's like chiseled. So those are good for bullet journaling if you want to use them to section off things in your bullet journal or something like that. And lastly, also the Pilot, what are these? The Pilot High Tech C mica pens. And then, okay, so these are 0.3, so they are extremely fine, and so these are probably awesome for bullet journaling. I have the 12 pack that I got from Amazon, and I'm pretty happy with them. I use them in my Hobonichi every single day, so, I like them. Alicia asks, do you know Filofax? Is it good for organizing? Greetings from Germany. Hello from the USA. I do know of Filofax. A while back, I actually considered for a while purchasing a Filofax for planning while I was kind of deciding which planner to get for myself. And I ended up not getting it because it's kind of expensive, but I think it's awesome for organizing. Let's see. Elena asks, best note-taking system. For me, personally, I think the best note-taking system for myself would be summary foldables. I think that having a system of note-taking that you can use later on while you're studying to test yourself is super, super useful, and I would definitely recommend it. Also flashcards are great too. Let's see. Are you going to do a school supplies haul this year? From Solomon. Yes, definitely. I'm actually planning for that video to go up this Wednesday on my YouTube channel. So I hope you guys are super excited for that. Let's see. All the emojis in this little chat are so cute. They look like little piles of dough. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Kylie asks, what time do you go to sleep? So normally I try my best to go to sleep by 11:30, 11:45 at the latest. Sometimes I try to go to sleep earlier if I'm kind of tired, but that's when the latest I'll go to bed normally. Let's see. Neil asks, how many AP classes are you taking? So I'm assuming you mean for next year. So next year I'm taking 4. Let's see. Elise asks, how early should someone start thinking or studying for the ACT? I would suggest I took it during my junior year, like most people do. I know that some people take it sophomore year, some people take it early senior year, so it's really whatever works best for you. Juliet says, how do you find motivation to study in the winter when it's dark and cold? Oh, that's like a really specific question. Okay, so I don't know, I love the winter time. It's my favorite season, so I don't really have a problem finding motivation during that time, but I would definitely recommend, making it fun, like take blankets around with you and make some hot chocolate for yourself or something like that. Someone asked, do you like school? I like school because I do really like to learn, and I think that it's really, really important to I think it's important to like school, because if you don't, it makes everything much more stressful and difficult. So if you can at least fake that you like school, it will really, really help you, because you'll feel more motivated to study, especially if you kind of try to think of your education as sort of like a privilege instead of just something you have to do. That's awesome. Let's see. Marjorie asks, are you in any clubs? No, I am not. Ellen asks, tips for getting motivated to practice your instrument. So if you are in sort of a rut where you feel like you don't want to practice and you don't want to play anymore, and you're just really tired of kind of playing the same thing, or you don't want to work on something that you have to, I would definitely recommend looking up videos on YouTube of soloists on your instrument. And I think seeing someone who is a professional and is great at their instrument is super motivating. Let's see. Sarah asks, can you do a what's on my iPhone video? Yes, I did one last year with everything that I had on my phone at the time. So if you guys want me to do an updated version of my what's on my iPhone video, definitely let me know and I will be sure to do that. Livia asks, what do you like to do in your spare time? I really like to, well, honestly, in my spare time, I spend a lot of time on social media. You guys know this if you follow me on like Snapchat or Instagram or Tumblr, or even here on YouTube. Like, I do YouTube in my spare time as a student. And I also really like to hang out with my friends and watch TV and watch Netflix and all that. Let's see. When does your Hobonichi end? I will check right now, actually. It goes, like, it started in April, so I think it goes through, let me see. It goes through next year, and the last day is, okay, yeah, so it goes from April 1st, 2016 to March 31st, 2017. So it goes a whole 12 months. Lilani asks, favorite Netflix show? Right now I'm definitely, like, I love The Office. I'm on season 9 right now, so I'm almost done with it. So I'm definitely looking for another show to watch later. Let's see. Scientific or graphing calculator from Megan. I have a graphing calculator. It's the TI Inspire, and I'm happy with it. Patricia asks, slow classical songs or fast ones? Honestly, both. Like, I just love both. Let's see. Are you doing a school supplies haul from Juliet? Yes, I am. It will be this Wednesday. Watch Parks and Recreation from Maryam. Yes, I love Parks and Recreation. I watched it last year. It was awesome. Meggie asks, do you lose motivation sometimes? Yes, everyone does. It's really hard to be motivated all the time. Let's see. What's your favorite brand of pens? Definitely Pilot, because they have so many different like types. Do I watch How I Met Your Mother? No, I do not. Did you try studying IGCSE subjects? No, I don't think it's offered in my area. Have you read Series of Unfortunate Events as a child? Yes, I really, really liked that series as a kid. Favorite snack? Definitely popcorn. I love popcorn. Let's see. Who is your favorite composer? Tchaikovsky. And that question was from Nathan. Linda asks, do you watch Grey's Anatomy? No. Have I watched The Flash? From Kristen? No. Solomon asks, are the G2 pens good pens? Honestly, I don't really know because I used the Pilot G2 pens, like the .7 versions, a long time ago, and I remember them being super, super smeary. Advice for taking physics, asks Nicole. I don't really have any advice because I haven't taken physics yet. I'm taking that this year. Let's see. Where is your desk from? Asks Wolfbug. It is from IKEA. Do I watch Doctor Who? Asks Allison. I used to watch it a lot and I kind of lost interest lately. Do sports help your college apps? Asks Isabella. Probably. I think it only really helps if you're super, super good at it. It might help if you're just participating also. I'm not really sure. I'm not a college admissions officer. Do I have any stationery from IKEA? Asks Patricia. No, I do not. Advice for selecting a career? Asks Mega. Advice for selecting a career, definitely like just find a subject in school that you're really interested in and see what careers you can make from like majoring in that career. Do I like Steven's Universe? Asks Malia. No, I mean I don't know. I've never even heard of it. Do I like The Big Bang Theory? Asks Meadow. Not really, to be honest. I used to, but I don't know. I just don't watch it anymore. Are you American? Asks Moshi. Yes, I am. Let's see. Freshman advice. Oh, I answered that earlier in the stream. Opinion on Ivy Leagues? Asks Angelina. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, I'm sure like all of them are fantastic schools. And anyone who goes there typically seems to be very successful, so that's good. Do I have any pets? Asks Charlie. No, I do not. Anna asks easiest breakfast ideas. Definitely, like, I think smoothies. Like, lately my mom and I have been having smoothies a lot, and they're super easy to make. You just throw some like fruit ice and like yogurt in the blender, and bam, you have a healthy breakfast. Let's see. Favorite thing to get from takeout? Definitely pizza. Let's see. Hardest AP course, asks Austin. For me, that was definitely AP Calculus AB. That was so difficult for me, and I had to spend so much time like preparing for it and studying and practicing. And I'm taking BC this year, so that'll probably be equally as difficult. Let's see. Will you continue making videos in college? Asks Leilani. Probably. I really hope to do so. I'm not positive because I don't really know how my schedule is going to look like. Do you take PE? Asks Nicole. I used to, but it is no longer required for my grade level, so I don't anymore. Let's see. How to start a study tube? Asks Crisscross88. Honestly, like just start filming videos and try to be very consistent every time you upload. Let's see. Who is your favorite character from Harry Potter? Asks Bonnie. Definitely Draco Malfoy. How long do you study a day during exam season? So I don't really have like a specific exam season, but when I do study for exams, it'll probably be for like 2-3 hours at the most. Do I like Lana Del Rey from Timothy? Yes, I do. Let's see. How do you have time to study when you have tons of homework to do? So I basically try to do this by kind of integrating the process. So like I will study for a biology test right after I do my biology homework, so that way it's fresh in my mind and I can kind of encode the information in a different way, and I find that is super helpful. Do I use a highlighting color code? I do, but it's not consistent across the board. I already talked about the color code that I use for my annotations in The Secret History, but even this system will probably change in the next book that I read. Let's see. Do you think retaking only one semester of a class from junior year can ruin your transcript a lot? I honestly don't really know because I haven't personally been in that situation. And let's see, what time is it in America? It is about 3:40-ish, like 3:40 p.m. Marching band or concert band, asks Michaela. Oh man, that's so hard. I love both equally, but as for which one I have more fun in, definitely marching band. What are some cheap gel pens? Well, cheap is pretty relative, but I think that the Papermate Inkjoy ones, I used to use those all the time, and I think those are gel pens as well, so definitely those. Do you bring your planner everywhere you go? No. Do you like the 1975? Asks Moshi. Yes, I do. Let's see. Does your marching band compete? Asks Helena Carolyn. Yes, we do. What's your favorite place to get stationery? Asks Emily Wu. Definitely Target. Absolutely Target. What are some helpful clubs to join? Honestly, I don't really know like that. I don't know which clubs are really helpful because I'm not in any. Let's see. Have I seen Hamilton? No, but I really, really want to. Let's see. Hey guys, I have a question. Do any of you have any ideas for future videos? Because I have a couple in mind for the rest of the month, but I just kind of wanted to know what you guys thought, or if you had any requests or ideas that you guys had. So I was definitely thinking about doing a what's in my backpack video later in the month, probably as soon as school starts. And I am probably planning on doing a couple videos about back to school. What do you guys think? Okay, how to not be lazy, how to be A straight A student, how to organize binders, mind maps. Ooh, I did a video on mind maps actually sometime last year, I think. So definitely check that out, whoever asked that. Self-care tips. Ooh, you guys want more stationary battles. Okay, so I'll definitely try to do more of those. I already have stationary battles for pens, highlighters, and pens, highlighters, and fine liners. Let's see. Oh, you want to do more like videos on like stationery under like a certain amount of money on Amazon, Battle of the Pencils, book recommendations. Ooh, these are all really good ideas, guys. Ooh, after school routine. Yeah, definitely. I did my summer morning routine and you guys all seem to really like that. So I'll try to do more routine videos in the future. Let's see. A day in the life, how to make notes pretty. Oh, updated what's in my pencil case. That's such a good idea, actually, because I just got a new pencil case for the school year, so that would be really awesome. Let's see. How to stay motivated. Oh, that's a good idea, too. I know that motivation is something a lot of people really struggle with because, you really have to have that, like, within you to be motivated and want to do well, so I think that's a good idea. Let's see. Back to school routine, definitely. I want to try to do that maybe after school starts. I'll probably do that. How to color code, how to deal with AP classes. Okay, cool. You guys have some awesome ideas. Oh my God. Okay, I'll definitely try to do some of those in my upcoming videos. I'm trying to plan and make videos ahead of time. Ooh, time management. That's a really good idea for a video. I've been thinking about doing one for a really long time and just to kind of like give you guys an idea of like how I manage my time, because I think time management is one of the most important things about about school, and getting into good study habits is really based on time management. Eleanor asks, do you use a locker? So I am offered a locker in my school, but I don't use it. Let's see. Can you show us your new pencil case? Yes. It's actually in the backpack that I just got for the school year as well. So you guys will definitely see it in my upcoming video on Wednesday. It's, I think a lot of people actually have it in the study community. It's a Lehit Lab pencil case, I believe it's called. So it's black and it opens kind of similar to the Kipling 100 pen case, where it's kind of like it opens like a book. So it's zipper closured over here, and I open it up, and it's kind of a mess right now. But basically, I have all of these slots here that I can like fit pens into really easily, and they have like a similar little like loop around the bottom, just like that. And then on the other side, it has kind of a similar thing, but with a little pouch instead. So I think that's really useful. And on the other side, there are like elastic closure, like net compartments. And on the very back of it, there's another like elastic closure that I think is really great to put some like pens or highlighters in. So I'm really excited about this. I think it was like $12 on Amazon, so it's not super expensive and it's pretty accessible. I got it from Amazon, so anyone who has Amazon and is looking for a new pencil case, maybe try this one. There are also like little pockets on the front as well that you could probably put like sticky notes in or something like that. So that's something that I'm really excited about. Celine asks, do you like to study in groups? I like to study in groups as long as my group is really engaged and wants to study, because I think that studying in a group with people who aren't necessarily interested or motivated, it's really hard to do. Warkey Pine asks, how do you set goals? So I personally set goals using my bullet journal. I try to first set up and plan out my month in advance so I can kind of see everything that I'm required to do for the month, like anything that I have coming up or appointments or anything like that. And then alongside of that, I really like to have all of my goals where I really break it down. Like for here, I have like finish all of my homework, but then I have finish my AP literature homework in a separate box. So I think breaking it down is really important, and also making sure you have a game plan for getting to your goals is the best way to set them. Someone asks, what is your favorite character in The Secret History? So far, I really like Charles, but I don't know if that will change. Let's see. What pencil cases do you recommend for people who carry a lot? So if you're carrying a lot of stationery with you all the time, I would definitely recommend the Kipling 100 pen case. It's super, super big, and I actually have it under my desk, so I will get that for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's the very first pencil case that I showed you guys on my channel, and it's from the brand Kipling. I got mine from Amazon, I believe. It's sort of on the pricier side, but I personally thought it was worth it just because I used it so much. So when you open it up, you have this really nice like row of elastic bands that you can fit like pens or markers or whatever in, and that's really nice because you can see everything at a glance. And then when you flip this over, you have this really, really big, large compartment for anything else that you choose. So that's something I'd recommend for anyone who carries a lot of stationery around. Ria asks, do you buy all of your supplies online? No, sometimes I buy my stationery from like Target or Staples. Yeah, let's see. Favorite character in Gilmore Girls, asks Stina. I really like Lorelai and the grandmother. Let's see. Crisscross88 asks, what do you use your mini Stabilos for? So for anyone who doesn't know, these are the Stabilo .88 mini fine liners. I used these all the time in my first bullet journal. These were the pens that I based my first color code off of. Right now, I'm not necessarily using it for much because most of the tips have gone completely flat, so I don't use them on a regular basis, but I do sometimes use them in my bullet journal, like for decoration or adding things. Other than that, let's see. Can you recommend me some stuff from Muji, please? Yeah, sure. So actually, I did a whole separate video on the best stationery from Muji that I would definitely recommend you guys check out. But right now, like my favorite things that I purchased from Muji are definitely these 3 items, and actually no, this 4th one too. So I got first this pencil. It's the low center of gravity pencil. It's a mechanical pencil with 0.5 millimeter lead, and I think it's really awesome. It has a nice aluminum grip. And then I also like these 2 packs of sticky notes. They stick really, really well. And also this like retractable eraser. You just push it up like you would a normal pen, and the eraser comes out from the other side. So those are 4 items I'd recommend for anyone going to Muji. Do I study before school? Not really. Usually I study at night. Let's see. Nutella or peanut butter, asks Avni. Definitely peanut butter. Let's see. Where did you get the idea for a bullet journal? So I didn't get the idea from I didn't make it up or anything. The creator is Ryder Carroll. And I found the idea randomly when I was looking up videos on YouTube. I saw someone doing a video on a bullet journal tour, and I definitely just decided that's something I definitely wanted to do. So I looked up a bunch of other videos and just started my own. Let's see. Do you use roller pens, asks Megal. I'm not really sure what roller pens are. I think, do you mean ballpoint pens? Because if so, I definitely use the Muji ballpoint pens. These are the retractable .38 versions. Let's see. Brass playing tips. I definitely recommend working on range. as a brass player, it's really, really important to make sure that you have a really big range of notes. Let's see. What is a bullet journal? So a bullet journal is sort of like a planner, except you spend a lot of time putting in like little to-do lists. Like you can see here, I have my spread from today where I have my checklist for today and I signify all of that with little task boxes. Let's see. How to stay relaxed. Basically, I would definitely recommend finding like something that really makes you comfortable, like maybe a favorite pair of pajamas or your favorite like outfit or something like that, and definitely try to just remember like what your priorities are and try your best to keep everything in perspective. Mila says, your blog inspired me to make a study blur. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So, let's see. Actually, guys, I have a question for you. So, you guys all know that my favorite pens are the Pilot Juice pens, but do you guys have any recommendations for your favorites? Because I'm always looking for new items, and I always want to see if I can find any pens that are better than the ones I already have, because these pens are really, really great, but the Pilot Juice ones do run out pretty quickly. So if you guys have any other suggestions, that'd be really, really awesome. Ooh, Papermate flares. Yes, I love those. I got those a while back, and they work really, really well. Oh, Laura says the Energel pens. Ooh, I've never tried those before, so I definitely want to check those out. Oh my god, so many of you guys are saying the Energel pens from Pentel. Okay, cool. Zebra Sarraza. Are those the ones? I think those are the ones that have the same sort of like clip that the Pilot Juice ones have, so I definitely want to try those. Thoughts on Pilot Friction. Ooh, okay. These are the Pilot Friction pens for anyone who is curious. They are pens that are completely erasable, and I think that they are really good if you're looking for erasable pens, but they aren't really super, super, super high quality pens in my opinion. The Uni Jetstream pen in .7 says Tam. Ooh, I definitely want to try those. I've heard those are awesome. Ooh, someone else said Uni Jetstream as well. Okay, so those are things I should try out also. Awesome. Okay, the TOL pens. Cool. Okay, these are all a bunch of things that I haven't heard of, so thanks, guys. The Uni ball pens, the Pilot G2, those ones I definitely want to try in a smaller size. Ooh, Linda recommends the Faber-Castell ballpoint pens. I've only heard of the Faber-Castell fine liners, so that's awesome. The Uniball Signo DX in .38. I love .38 tipped pens, so I definitely want to check those out. Did I buy my Hobonichi from their website or from Amazon? I got the Hobonichi itself from Amazon, and I got my cover from the Hobonichi website. The Pilot G2.5 pens, again, like I really want to try the G2 ones, but the .7 versions are super, super like inky and smear a lot, so maybe the finer points are better. Why did I make this channel? I made it because someone asked me to, honestly. I got a message on Tumblr and someone was like, can you please make a YouTube channel? It would be so helpful. And a bunch of you guys also like replied and said that that's something you'd be interested in. And so I definitely, like, as soon as you guys said that, I decided to make a channel and give it a shot. Thoughts on Zebra mild liners. Ooh, okay. These are, I mean, I think that they are worth the money if you are really, really, really into having things that are really, really pretty, because you have to admit that these are really nice to look at. They do bleed a lot through paper, and they aren't the best for highlighting, at least the darker colors aren't, but if you're looking for like unusual colored highlighters, I would look into the Pilot Friction ones instead, because they also are erasable, so that's just something to keep in mind. Favorite color schemes with pens, definitely purples, pinks, and blues. Can you do study time lapses? Yes, I've done a bunch of them in my study with me videos on YouTube, and I've done some on Instagram as well. Ooh, the Pilot PO. Wait. Inkjoy pens from Papermate are good. Yep, so true. Feelings on reaching almost 70K. Oh my gosh. That's just so crazy to me. I never really thought that this YouTube channel would go very far. Like, it never occurred to me that someday I might have like over 50,000 people online that watch my videos every single week. But I just feel so grateful, and I'm just so glad that so many of you feel like my videos are worth watching and that you take my advice. And honestly, like even like this morning, I noticed that I hit 2 million views on all of my videos. So I just wanted to quickly say thank you guys so much for watching my videos and constantly supporting me. Like, that's so crazy to me, and I am just so happy about it. Let's see. I'm just going to take a couple more questions before I head out. Let's see. What is your all-time favorite bullet journal or planner layout? Oh, that's actually such a hard question. I think, like, as far as my favorite bullet journal layout, probably this spread right here that is my level 10 life spread. I talked about this in my how to start a bullet journal video, and it's actually in the little graphic in the corner above there. It's part of like the thumbnail my brother made for the how to start a bullet journal video. And I love this layout. And as for my favorite layout in my planner, ooh, I don't know. I like my spread from today, actually. I really do. I think this is super cute. These are new page flags I got from the Target dollar spot. My favorite eraser. My favorite eraser is probably the Staedtler Mars plastic one. Do a little pencil case tour, please. I've already done 2 What's in My Pen Case videos, but I will probably do an updated one if you guys want me to. Tips for improving sleep schedule. I have tons of advice on that because I used to be the person who stayed up till like 4 in the morning during the summer, and then I slept until like 1 p.m. during the day. But now I've become the person who wakes up at 7 a.m. So if you guys want my tips on that, check out my How to Be a Morning Person video. And I think that's all of the time I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me for a whole hour. And thanks to those people who watched my live stream from this morning as well. You guys are so awesome. And yeah, bye guys.